What's up, Gator fans? Today we're going to do a film study over Anthony Richardson and Jack Miller's performance from the spring game. We're going to pick 5 plays from each quarterback and just kind of dive into those plays in a bit more detail and look at what they did well at one and then some improvement areas for each quarterback. And real quick, before we keep going, I always like to say when breaking down spring games, it's to take spring games with a grain of salt. We've seen players light it up in spring games and play poorly in the regular season, and we've seen players play poorly in spring games and then light it up in the regular season. So just always like throwing that out there as we talk spring games. But first, we're going to talk about Anthony Richardson. We're going to look at 5 plays. The first 3 plays, specifically, I want you to put yourself in the defensive shoes and imagine how you would try to stop these plays, because they're all very, very similar plays, but you're going to see different personnel and different outcomes. Every outcome is a good outcome, but you're going to see 2 different pass plays, and then you're going to see a run from Anthony Richardson. Then we're going to look at a few more plays as well from Richardson, then talk about Miller. But if you like this type of content, quarterback content, please consider going over to our channel, QB Spotlight, and subscribing. We put out quarterback content on a weekly basis, and we spend a lot of time in the SEC, and we've covered Florida a decent amount of time as well. So with all that said, let's dive into the film of Anthony Richardson from the spring game, and again, put yourself in the defense's position and try to plan out how you would stop these certain plays. Okay, so the first play of Richardson we're going to watch is just an RPO play here, and this is why it's so important for Florida to get the run game going, especially in Napier's offense, as we've talked about in the past. So we're going to see a little slant route / glance route, whatever you want to call it, depending on the system, and we're going to see Richardson complete it. So let's watch it real quick, and then we'll break it down a bit more detail here. Ball gets out quick. Good read there. So let's look at what Richardson's reading at, right? So right now he knows that he's got 6 blockers up front. So right now it's 6v6, meaning I got 6 linemen here. I got 6 guys in the box. He sees this safety creep in, and when that safety creeps in, now we got 6v7. So now the read is, okay, let's throw that slant behind him. And you're going to see on this side of the screen, which is going to be important to remember for the plays coming up, we have another screen set up here with a little bubble screen of this receiver, and then this receiver is blocking right here. So you have several options here. He can keep it, he can get it to the running back, he can keep it himself, he can throw this little glance route behind the safety coming in, or you have screens set up over here. So a good example, good read here by Richardson. Let's watch it here. Boom, right, we got 7 guys in the box. We have a ton of space here. Easy read. Hard to defend if you get that run game going, right? So if the run game is going from Florida, it's going to be very hard to defend plays like this, right? So that's what Napier wants to do with his offense, wants to get the run game going and then build off the run game and have plays like this. And Richardson, of course, can keep it, which we're going to watch in a second. So let's go ahead and watch another clip of Richardson keeping the ball and passing it on a option route. All right, so very similar to the play we just watched, we have another run-pass option here, but it's going to be different personnel, right? So last play was 11 personnel. We had 1 running back and 1 tight end, 3 receivers. This time we have 1 running back, no tight ends, and 4 receivers. So we're sitting in 10 personnel, and like we talked about in Napier's breakdown video, very similar or exact same plays within different personnel is kind of what Napier likes to run, of course, with the pre-snap movement. But we got no pre-snap motion here. Let's go ahead and watch this play, and then we will break it down in a bit more detail as well. Boom, ends up being a good completion. Touchdown, right? It's a touchdown. I apologize. The touchdown there. So let's look at what's going on here. So we got in the box 6 defenders, right? So we got technically 6 here, with just 5 guys blocking, so 5v6. So you know right off the bat, okay, probably not going to run it. Creeping down another guy in, we can go ahead and call 7v6. And just like last play, we have a screen option here, right? We got an outside receiver blocking, a receiver doing either a bubble route, but since he is to the boundary side, he's just stopping right here. And then the boundary side has double slants, off coverage here. That's an easy route, easy read, easy throw. Hit this receiver right there. So just an example of Miller missing a throw there, but with more reps and more experience in this offense, I would imagine him being able to make that type of throw. So despite the last 2 plays we watched of Miller, the interception and then the missed read, the missed anticipation throw, I still thought he did some things well, especially those first plays that we watched. One of my favorite plays of the whole game was that one-man route, that back shoulder throw, where it was a run play called, and then he saw you had 8 in the box, and he was able to throw that back shoulder throw. I think that the Florida quarterback is going to have to be able to do those throws, especially if they get the run game going. Teams are going to stack the box and force you to make those type of throws. If you can make those type of throws, it's going to be hard to stop the Florida offense. There's one more clip I want to watch before we end this video, and this is, I think, a play that probably made Coach Napier pretty happy. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but the way to be successful in this offense is, as a quarterback, is to not force it and take what the defense gives you. Especially whenever we've done our film breakdowns of Louisiana, which again you can find on our YouTube channel, we talked about this taking care of the football. I believe Levi Lewis, the starting quarterback at Louisiana last 3 years under Napier, if you combine his 3 years, if you combine the interceptions, I think he is still either tied or right under the interceptions that Florida had last year, right? I don't have to tell Florida fans that Emory Jones either led college football in interceptions or was close to it, right? So if you can just cut that down in half, there's a lot of points on the table to be scored. So a play like this, like we're about to watch, is a mature throw. Mature play that comes from a quarterback learning and growing. When nothing is there, don't force it. If you can use your legs and run, great. If not, throw it away. Or sometimes it's okay to take a sack in certain situations. So just a quick example of what I think is a quarterback maturing in Anthony Richardson, and something I think Napier likes to see is not forcing the ball. Let's go ahead and just check it out real quick. So this play is going to look pretty boring to the naked eye, but the more plays Florida has like this, where they don't force the ball, where they don't have turnovers, the better. I don't have to say this to Florida fans. They know by last year all the interceptions that they had. But if you just take care of the football, you have a shot to be successful. So let's just watch this, because I think this is a sign of growth, not forcing anything, because you want to force it, right? But you've got it covered, and covered. If we let the play go a little bit longer, still covered. You can say, hey, you have a whole shot here. That's one hell of a throw to fit into, and the ball would have to be coming out like now, right? And even then, it's going to be a tough throw. So I think this shows maturity of Richardson, but I think if you're a Florida fan, you like seeing this where, hey, you'll take a sack every once in a while. Hey, you'll trust Richardson to pick something with his legs. Just don't force the ball. Keep the ball, don't have any turnovers, and you have a shot to be successful in this league. So I think seeing plays like this isn't always a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing. Don't force the ball. All right, Florida fans, I hope you like this video. Again, spring game, take it with a grain of salt. Some really good things, some things the quarterbacks struggle with, but take it all with a grain of salt. I think overall, they're heading in the right direction. I think they have a good quarterback room overall, and there's a lot to be excited about if you're a Florida fan. But the big takeaways was Richardson. You were able to see his progressions, and you see how hard it's going to be to stop a quarterback like Richardson once they have the full playbook going for them. And then with Jack Miller, I still think he did better than what fans probably thought, or at least what was written about him. I still think he made some good plays and showed the potential that he does have. So again, just a film breakdown, a film study. We'll try to do more studies like this and more breakdowns if this is something you like, and we'll see you next time. And again, if you like this type of video, come on over to the QB Spotlight YouTube channel and just consider subscribing, liking, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next time.